Alright, can you guys see me now? Hey, 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 can you guys see and hear me now? Can you guys see and hear me? Okay, good. Took a minute. No, I totally forgot to push the go live button. I could see myself and I forgot that it wasn't actually broadcasting, so sorry about that. So Sybil is here with me. Sybil's feeling really good today. She's been climbing the scratching post like crazy, so I know she's feeling better. And she's here to say hello to everybody. So I can't believe it's been a whole year. It's unbelievable that a year's gone by already. Yep, Sybil is here, Linda. She says hello. She's very happy to see me. But yeah, we've come actually further in a year than I expected to. You know, I was hoping to hit a few thousand subscribers by a year. And now we're over 15,000. We're heading towards 16,000. So I'm really amazed. And thank you to all of you guys for making that possible. And I don't know if you saw the other listing, but I'm doing a video tonight. I'm going to try the, they have the premiere feature, which I've never used before. And so I made a video about this actress named Thelma Todd, who was murdered. Well, not murdered. She died in 1935, but she was a big star at the time. She was young. She was only 29. But while I was in Los Angeles, I actually went to the scene of where she died, and it's exactly the same. It's literally the same everything. Even the garage doors on the garage are exactly the same doors, and you can see, like in the old pictures and the video I took, they're exactly the same. And then I also went to where she's buried. She's buried on the East Coast, so I have video from both of those places. But basically, I tell her story. So at 8 o'clock Eastern time, we're going to do a premiere with pajamas and popcorn. And yes, Raven's Broken Wings. Hot Toddy, as she was known by her nickname. But yeah, so it's an interesting story, and I actually found there was a book that was written just a few years ago. And yes, she did own a restaurant. Cindy Hawkins, she owned Thelma Todd's Roadside Cafe, and I actually have video from there too. Can you believe that restaurant is still there, and that building too, it's exactly the same as it was when Thelma was alive. So, and the house is like set up on the hill above the restaurant where the incident took place, and everything's literally the same. So it's like one of the best old Hollywood cases you can cover, because you still can see exactly the places that are talked about in the story. And so we're going to do that at 8 o'clock. So if you guys are around and want to join in, it'll be a premiere. There will be a link, I believe, that will show up as soon as I finish. I actually have to finish uploading the video when we're done here. And then we'll be doing that from 8 till, I don't know, 8:45 or so. And we can also, you can live chat during the movie. So thanks everybody for the congratulations. I just can't believe it. Omnipotent Mama, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Yeah, I like old Hollywood history too, and I would love to do actually some more. If this one gets enough views, I would love to do some more because it's an area I'm really interested in, and I actually have. Everyone does true crime, yeah, but this is yeah. See, the thing that I like, Caitlin, I actually like to go visit the places and the cemeteries and stuff because it just gives more context and more reality to the whole story. I actually have one, also a murder that took place in New England that the murder site still exists, the house exists as well, and it's actually one you can go into because it's now a museum. And I was actually able to go and view the entire actual case file. It still exists, and this is from like 1830. And I got to handle all the evidence they still have. They have all of the original trial documents, the murder weapon, everything. I was able to look at all that stuff and photograph it. And then I went to the scene of the crime. And so I'll be doing a story about that murder as well. But I like to bring like the historical context together, not just like reiterate and rehash old stories, but to bring them to life with some aspect, either whether it's an on location or whatever, so that it's not just, anybody can tell a story, but it's another thing to actually bring reality into the story. So I love doing that stuff. I love that kind of history. No, Lizzie's house, no, Raven's Broken Wings, actually, that's one I could do, too. I wouldn't mind. And actually, do you know it's a bed and breakfast? Lizzie Borden's house is a bed and breakfast. You can actually stay in the room where the stepmother was murdered, which is kind of creepy. But, hey, Susanna Vasquez, thank you. Thank you very much for the super chat. I really, really appreciate it. Sybil said thank you very much. But, yeah, Lizzie Borden's house, so it's, of course, it's a tourist attraction, naturally, but they furnished it basically like it looked back in the day, and the rates are so ridiculously expensive. It's just, they're so milking the name, because trust me, Fall River, Massachusetts is not a beautiful place to visit. I mean, it's quaint, but it's an old mill town, and so it's not like it's some major stop on the tourist track. But everyone, of course, wants to see Lizzie Borden, and Gilles is here, and he's pulling on my leg. But I've also been by the house that she and her sister moved to after she was acquitted. They went and bought the big house on the hill that Lizzie wanted, and that house is still there, and it was called Maplecroft, and the front step still has engraved in the granite, it still says Maplecroft on the front step. And I've been to the cemetery where the Bordens are all buried, so I could do that one if you guys are interested in that story. I could do an on location about that one. Dr. Shilaku, I am going to be doing a story about the Salem witch trials, and I do have video footage from the different locations in Salem, and fun fact, but I'm actually descended from the Putnam family, and the father, John Putnam Sr., and the son, John Putnam, were both involved in the witch trials. And my ancestor, John Putnam Sr., tried to save one of them, who was Rebecca Nurse. And the son, he wasn't such a good guy, and they're actually both my whatever great-grandfathers. But it's just, that gives me like a connection that story is kind of interesting to me as well. The Winchester House, I have not been to the Winchester House. It looks kind of bizarre, and the only thing is, it's like, I mean, I know it's supposed to be haunted and all, but it's not like there's any like real significant event that happened there. Omnipotent Mama, you read an article in the National Review? Talks about Lizzie Borden case, and the writer detailed their mutton breakfast. Gross. Yeah, I know. Yeah, exactly. Omnipotent Mama, yeah, when you read about how frugal Andrew Borden, with all his money, I mean, I can understand wanting to live in a modest house, but really to eat like crap food? Seriously? That's just so weird, It's like, I can understand saving pennies and cutting corners in certain places, but not when the food you're eating, and you eat mutton of all things for breakfast. But anyways, so ancestors meet, waiting on results, but our ancestors may have been friends. Well, that would be interesting. Yeah, I've done the DNA ancestry thing too, and I mean, for me, the results were no big surprise, but they were exactly what I expected. But Gilles, Mr. Gilles is like pulling at my leg. I'm gonna have to pick him up in a minute. Hello, Tanya. Audrey Lynn, yeah, you know, Salem's beautiful, and there's a lot of history there. And have I been to Winchester House? I answered that question. What else would you guys like to see? Hello, Mikael Fredrickson from Gothenburg, or what, isn't it, actually, don't you pronounce it Göteborg? I used to work for actually a company, the startup company that I worked for, the owner was Swedish, and he was from Göteborg. Ghost tours, yeah. The ghost tours, you know, I'm not a believer in the spiritual world, but those ghost tours, I don't know. There's, you know, I've never been on a ghost tour and actually seen a ghost, so Gilles pulling on me, so I'm going to have to pick him up. Mr. Gilles, let go of me. He grabs the leg of my shorts. Yeah, everyone does want to cuddle. And Edith is here. Cedric is here. Mary is here. Clarice is here. Sybil's here. Gilles is here. Sammy, I think, was here. Yeah, true crime is interesting. Yeah, I'm not so much into the supernatural stories as I am in the true crime. If they happen to have the ghost thing attached to it, that's fine. Salem, well, you know, I think it's more people make Salem all about the witches, and actually, as I've told you guys before, I think there were never any witches in Salem. So, you know, that's neither here nor there, but it's turned Salem into the Halloween capital of the world. So it's just insane in October in Salem, I know. How many cats do I have? Arnold Palmer, 99. I have 15 cats. And they're all rescue cats. And most of them are older cats. Yep, Old Hollywood. Black Dahlia case? Yes. Mutant Mama, I've read books about actually the Black Dahlia case. I find it interesting and gruesome at the same time. It's really kind of a sickening case, but yeah, Laurie Cabot. Yeah, Laurie Cabot. Yeah, she proclaimed herself the official witch of Salem, and I had looked into that because I did a story. I don't know if you guys saw my video on the murder in Salem. I do have a video about a murder in Salem that's much more recent than the one that I'm going to do. But yeah, Laurie Cabot sort of proclaimed herself the witch of Salem, and I can't find anywhere that says where she was officially called that. So, but she calls herself the official witch of Salem. Sleepy Hollow. Oh, that Arnold Palmer. That'd be cool. I've actually always wanted to go visit there. Sleepy Hollow. I think there's like a big colonial Revolutionary War cemetery that they discovered not that many years ago. Yeah, the Black Dahlia case is a real. It's a weird one because there's like, it's hard to really have any concrete suspects, you know. And I know there's that kid of that doctor who claims that he was the one who killed her, and I don't know if I believe that or not. I think that kid's just. I say kid, he's not a kid anymore. He's an older man, but I think he's just making a play for some notoriety and an excuse to write a book, you know, to make some money. But I don't think that one, we'll never know, I don't think. It's like Jack the Ripper, we'll never know who did it, as much as people want to speculate. But I do like true crime, and like I said, I do like to visit the scenes. And cemeteries, I love cemeteries, old cemeteries. When I lived in LA, I used to go to all the cemeteries and to visit all the stars' graves from the silent era and everything. Your mom won't let you have a cat. Well, that's too bad, but, you know, cats are so amazing to me. And I told you guys before, I grew up with dogs and cats. But we had Great Danes when I was a kid. I used to ride them like a horse because they were so big, and I was just a little kid. And we had a Great Dane. We had 2 Great Danes. We had a German Shepherd, a Shetland Sheepdog, a couple of other breeds. But cats have always been my thing. We live in cool places. Where do you live, Caitlin? No, Jack, Omnipotent Mama, that turned out that DNA test, there was a follow-up to that. That DNA test for Jack the Ripper, it was contaminated, and it was not, they don't even think that what they tested was the DNA that was on it. Oh, Judy, thank you very much for the super chat. Awesome, I really appreciate it. And Angelica, thanks for the super chat. You're in Arizona. Oh, is it like a ghost town? I've been to oh, you're in Arizona. It's 108. I'm sorry. I was mixing you up with another conversation. You eat mutton on the reservation? I'm not saying there's anything wrong with mutton, but mutton for breakfast? You know, it's like, and my guess is it was probably like leftover from supper that the Bordens would eat. Jillian Pickard, thank you so much for the super chat. I really appreciate it. Sybil's sitting right here. You can't see her, but she is here, and she says thank you so much for the super chats. And she's feeling much better. Was climbing the scratching post earlier. Scotland Yard, beginnings of Scotland Yard. Oh yeah, that I would be interested to see. And you know, I've been to London a bunch of times, but I've never been to the Crime Museum, and I'd like to go the next time I go. D, you're from Texas? Welcome. Your ghost keeps stealing your pillowcases? Are you serious? That's so bizarre. Where do you live, Allison? The Thelma video? Yes, Thelma at 8 o'clock, you guys. So, and I've got to, I need to get off here by 7 because I've got to finish uploading that video, and I don't want to be late for the premiere. It should be fun. It's the first time I've done that. But I said, oh, rather than just uploading it, let's try this premiere thing. Because people can, like, chat while the video's playing and stuff, and it's interesting. What am I drinking? I'm drinking Assam tea, Rebecca, with just some raw honey in it. I'm a great storyteller. Thanks. I'm happy to hear that. You know, it's so funny, because when I started doing YouTube videos last year, I always thought I didn't have a very good voice, so I was always concerned about what's my voice going to sound like on YouTube. Live story time? Yeah, we could do that. You know, I've been meaning to start, and I actually recorded one, like a bedtime story channel that, you know, where I just read different bedtime stories. And I probably will try to do a few more because I don't really want to promote it until I've got a few things up there. The Onion Fair. We talked the other day. Oh, yeah. Okay, yes, I remember the Onion Fair. Oh yeah, that's right, Allison. Yeah, so I mean, you live in the land of ghosts. I mean, there's so many old ghosts. Best museums, East Coast? Are you asking me, Arnold? Museums, I don't know. I like the Met in New York, and I like house museums. I really love house museums, especially ones that are, you know, furnished and that have like original objects in them. I've been to a few like that, and you know what's a really cool one is John Adams. You know, President John Adams. His house is all original inside, like everything, like the contents is all original. They have like the chair he died in, and they have the china that belonged to the Adamses and all the knickknacks and furniture and everything. So it's really cool because you go in there and you really feel that. Gio, now he's mad that I didn't pick him up, so he's scratching at the carpet. But anyways, the Adams house is really cool because you go in there and you feel like they're still there. You know what I mean? You can sort of feel the energy because all of their stuff is still there. My favorite YouTube channel to watch? I don't know if honestly, I don't know if I have a favorite because I watch so many different kinds of stuff. You know, I watch like the other drama channels to see what they're talking about. But I like to watch, you know, like I watch a lot of how-to stuff. I like to watch sometimes there's a few cemetery tour ones that I like. The history ones that I like. You know, there's not any one in particular. Oh, Stephanie, good. I'm glad you got the shirt. Oh, which reminds me, you guys. So, send me an email to MadCatster. Send it to CatsterTips, CatsterTips at gmail.com, and Sybil's going to pick a random 3 people from those emails, and those people will get, you have your choice of Sybil the Enforcer shirt or an AssFest t-shirt. Death Museum. Where's there a Death Museum? Heather, thank you so much for the super chat. I really, really appreciate it. That's very generous of you. Sybil says thank you very much. She's very happy today. She's in a very good mood. What's the Mutter Museum? I've never heard of it before. Your husband loves President's House's Omnipotent Mama. That's cool. The Holocaust. Yeah, you know, I've been to the Holocaust Memorial in Berlin, and it's really, yeah, it's very, very sad. You know, I try to avoid sad places, but obviously it was something that I wanted to see when I was there. Can I write it in the chat? Oh, the email? Sure. Here. And it's not a rush, you guys, so you don't have to be first or anything. It's going to be 3 random from, you know, between now and, you know, a little bit after the chat ends. You can send the email, so you don't have to rush and do it right this second. But I'm typing it here. Medical oddity. Oh, yeah, there's one in London, too. I think like the Royal College of Surgeons has one. I've seen some videos that have talked about it. It's kind of disgusting, actually. The Mutter is the Death Museum. Oh, okay. I don't know if that would be up my alley. I like cemeteries, but I don't know about a death museum. And Merciful Weirdness. That oh yeah, I watched that chapter, Angelica. I do. I like him. I've been watching him for a long time, actually, since he was a much smaller channel. Hey, Jess. Thanks for joining. Wow, Mikhail Fredrickson, thank you very much. Have I been to the Smithsonian? Yes, I have. I haven't been there in a long time. But yes, I have been to the Smithsonian. I've been to, you know, it's, you know, as I'm sure you know, it's several different museums, but I've been to like the pop culture one or whatever they call it. And I've been to the one that's got like art and artifacts and things from history. And I've also been to the Mint. The Mint has a museum. And I think that's where I saw they had like an actual original copy of the Declaration of Independence on display. John Wayne Gacy clown suit. Oh, gross. Really? And Ted Bundy's car. I don't know if I want to go there. Hi, Justin. Yeah, you know, I mean, I guess I'd be morbidly curious, but the Fairbanks house? Oh, yes. You know, Cindy, I actually have been to the Fairbanks house in Dedham. And I believe that Fairbanks still own it. And actually there's a house in Salem that is a museum too. It's not open very often, but it's also owned by the family that built it. So that's another 400-year-old house. Museum of American History. Yes, Carolyn, that is it. That's how long it's been since I've been there. You were supposed to go with your father, but he came too sick. Oh, that's too bad. I'm sorry to hear that. Wendy Williams? Boy, that's a shit show. I don't know, but they're like trying to erase her from the social media associated with her old TV station. Sharon MT, thank you for the super chat. Thank you very much. Super funny theme park called Dinosaur Kingdom? But what is it, Melissa? Is it like real dinosaur stuff, or is it like replica dinosaurs? You grew up in a town next to Dedham. Oh, okay. Cool. Thank you, Sarah, very much. Let's see. My favorite place that I've ever traveled to. Well, I have a few places that I really like. Believe it or not, and it's not a place that I'd go at this point in time, but years ago, before Vladimir Putin existed, I went to Russia, and one of my favorite places was St. Petersburg, Russia. It was so beautiful. I really liked it's like all canals, and all the historic buildings are all painted like different pastel colors. Just very, very beautiful. Very nice. But I've been lots and lots of places. I love Paris. That's where I've been the most. I go to Paris a lot because I really like it. I like London a lot. I took a Mediterranean cruise. Like, we took my mother a few years ago, and that was cool. We went on a smaller boat that was able to go to places that all the cruise lines don't go to. So we got to see some like smaller towns on the Mediterranean that were just really beautiful and really quaint. Thank you very much, Miss Keela. I appreciate that. Am I into conspiracies at all? Not really. I mean, in terms of the fact that debunking them, yes. But, I mean, I don't really believe in any conspiracies. Germany's nice. The only disappointing thing, and, I mean, Squeaky, my deaf cat, is now scratching the couch, which they don't normally do. See, they want my attention. They only want my attention when I'm on here. I've been to Spain, Rebecca. I've been to Barcelona, and I've been to Germany. Sierra, the only thing about Germany, I mean about Berlin, I should say, was, and I mean, not that I was surprised, but of course Berlin is almost 100% reconstructed after the war, unfortunately, because of the destruction done by the bombings. So, you know, and I'm a lover of history, so there wasn't a whole lot of historical stuff to see. You know, there was like one of the old churches and a few places like that we went to. That was cool. I liked Berlin. Berlin was fine. It just, you know, it wasn't like a big history stop for me. Oh, yeah, I should say, one of my favorite places, even though, what are my cats doing? Hold on one second. Squeaky, what are you doing, Squeak? Huh? What are you doing? Sorry, guys. My deaf cat, he has this habit where, is it illegal to take a homeless cat? I don't think it's illegal, but I would sure make sure that it was actually homeless. You know, I know myself, my cats don't go outside, but if they did, I would be absolutely crushed if someone took my cat in thinking that it was homeless, so I would be very certain that it was homeless. Prague I've never been to. I've been to Rome, but it was, when I was there, it was just filthy. It really was filthy. And I love archaeology, so I was in heaven in terms of sights to see. And I guess it's so funny because a lot of people must have thought it was dirty too, because like a year after I had been there, they suddenly announced a campaign to clean up Rome. I think a lot of tourists were really complaining that Rome just was so dirty. I do like Pompeii's a big interest for me. I've never been to Pompeii, and it's like at the very top of my bucket list. I want to go to Pompeii so bad. Dustin, the painting behind me, it's a 19th century painting by a British artist. It's a woman in the woods She's exhausted. She's sitting on the steps of like this makeshift, well, not makeshift, but it's like a little shrine in the woods, you know, that sometimes you'll see, or a little chapel or whatever you want to call it. And her dog is with her, and she's apparently lost. And up in the, you can't see, but up in the corner there's like a sort of a dreamy bubble that shows people like with torches and dogs coming to look for her. So it doesn't have a title that I'm aware of because nothing's written on it. I just know the painter's name is signed on it, and I know he was from like the middle of the 19th century. Will cats come back home if you let them out? Yeah. When I was a kid, our cat went outside, and she lived to be 24 years old. Nowadays, I would not let my cats outside. Not only because I live in an area that's got lots of busy roads, but, you know, just, there are lots of reasons. Predators, mean people, cars. I just have never let my cat out. No, you're not late, Nick. Rome was nice. The Vatican, yes. Max, I went to the Vatican, and I think I told you guys this story before, so those of you who've heard it, I'll just keep it brief, but the Vatican we paid for skipped the line tickets. But the thing was, we really didn't skip the line. The only skip the line we did was skip the line to buy the ticket. We still had to wait in the long freaking line to get in, and then the Vatican was so crowded we were literally like shoulder to shoulder with people. It was so gross. It's a good thing it didn't happen. It's a good thing COVID wasn't going on at that time. What kind of cases do? I do landlord-tenant cases. I do like small claims cases, and I do some discrimination cases. But it's all like litigation. It's like all court stuff. What are my favorite cases? None of them. I'll be honest with you, none of them. I don't like the stuff that I do, but I have to. You learned what in Rome? That you get into the fast pass lane? Yeah, I'm sure you do, if you have a kid. But yeah, we didn't have any kids with us. But, you know, obviously, I'm glad I went to the Vatican because there's so much important stuff to see. And it's so funny, we were in a room that I think, was it Rubens or, oh God, I can't think of his name now. There's a room that like one of the Medici popes had commissioned, and while the tour guide was like explaining all the paintings, I was busy reading. There's like really, really, really old graffiti scratched into the gesso, the plaster on the walls, and that's what I was interested in. I'm reading all this old Italian graffiti from like the 1600s and 1700s, and, you know, I mean, yes, the paintings were beautiful, but just, I don't know why, but the graffiti really caught my eye. And then I found out there's actually a book on the Vatican graffiti. You work in real estate and type of that. I do some condo work, like in terms of delinquent condo fees. I used to do foreclosure work, which I hated. To love what you do, yes, it does Rockabye home, or Roxby home. It does, and it is unfortunate, but, you know, what are you going to do? I have to make a living. So I do the job that I was able to get when I was, at the time that I got it, and I've been at it for a while now, so do my cats all get along well? For the most part, yes, there is drama, but it's never like, you know, rip your face off drama. It's usually, want your space that you're sitting in, or you're too close to me, or you know, when I go to bed at night, they all like to come and snuggle around. So like Sybil's very jealous. She'll smack a few of them if they get too close to me, because she wants to be with me. Construction cronies, hey, yeah, yeah, so you know what I'm talking about. It's like, I do it because I've got to make a living, dude, you know, and a lot of people have this misconception that I'm making a living on and doing YouTube full time. And every time somebody asks me that question, because I have a lot of people say, when did you stop being a lawyer? And I'm like, never, because I can't live on what I make on YouTube. So, and I have to pay a mortgage all by myself now. So, I used to have a partner and for 20 years, and then we split up about a year and a half ago, and I stayed in the house, so I had to take on the whole mortgage. So now I definitely have to keep working. If they fought over prime real estate in the bed, yes, they do. They do. Yes, Sybil the Enforcer, she's small, but she is one tough broad. She will stand up to anybody, and but she's very, very affectionate, to me anyway. But yeah, she gets very jealous. She's very possessive of me, and that's fine. What's a mortgage? When you buy a house, it's like the loan that you get to pay for the house that the bank gives you. It's called a mortgage. So, basically, it's sort of like the bank really owns your house, even though your name's on the deed. So you pay the bank back over a period of years. It's sort of like paying rent to the bank every month. But you build equity, obviously, and you end up owning it. But yeah, owning it's definitely much better. So getting in the way of your YouTube time, yeah, I know. It's my mother's always saying, don't let YouTube interfere with your job. I'm like, don't worry, I don't. Thanks, Violet. Yes, I love Sybil. She's the best, and she's starting to get a little older, and I get a little melancholy because I know the day's gonna come when she's not with me anymore, and it makes me so sad. But yes, Nellie, you get to build equity, and actually, I'm very lucky that I bought my house when I bought my house, because the market was really, really low then, and if I had to buy my house, if I was doing it right now, I couldn't afford to buy my house, which is very sad. It's like, I can't imagine, people who are just starting out. It's got to be awful. Allison, yeah, good for you paying off your mortgage. I wish I could do that, but it will come. The day will come. Dee, what kind of cat? She's a Blue Point Siamese. She's a purebred, although I did adopt her from the shelter. But she is a purebred. The woman who had her had to go into a nursing home, and her bastard children wouldn't take the cat in, so they dumped her at the shelter, and I actually walked in just as they were dropping her off, and I said, I'm taking that one, because I had 2 Blue Point female cats before, and I love them. Tracy, people have asked me about pictures of all my cats. Yes, I've taken pictures of almost all of them, I think, so I'll have to put them together. Was law my first career? No. My very first career, when I was in college, I was working as an assistant in a sales office for a hotel chain, and after I graduated college, I became a hotel sales and marketing manager, and I did that for like 9 years. And then I got burnt out from that, and then I started doing, I was like basically the facilities / human resources / purchasing person for a bunch of startup companies that were opening their, U.S. offices, and I basically set up their first U.S. office and got everything in place and negotiated all the different purchasing contracts and things. And then, believe it or not, for a year I taught history, reading, and what was the other thing? Oh, writing, in an inner city school, which was not fun. The kids were absolute pains in the ass. They had no respect for anybody, and they used to say, "Oh, mister, you touch me, I'm gonna sue you," and things like that. And like, they complained about homework, and we were encouraged to give them candy and soda as rewards. So like, I had my reading class was in the afternoon. When the kids came back from lunch, they had consumed so much sugar, and half of them were like ADHD, that they were bouncing off the freaking walls. And our reading lesson was like timed to the minute. So we had this reading monitor, and she'd come in with her notebook, And she'd go, "Why aren't your kids on lesson plan?" And I'd be like, "Because they're bouncing off the fucking walls and I have to babysit versus teach them anything." Bye, Rebecca. Good night. Thank you. That's when I decided to go to law school. I said, that's it. I'm not going to be a teacher for 20 years to get a pension and have to deal with this crap. So I decided to go to law school. It was like, okay, it's now or never. So that's what I did. Cats, because the panther's your favorite animal. I have actually, speaking of panthers, I have one of my black cats. That's what he looks like. He's sort of like, I forget, what do they call it? It's a Bengal, he looks like, and he's very chatty. What state do I live in? Angelica, I don't want to share that. I live on the East Coast. It's all I'll tell you guys. Sybil, what's going on with Sybil? Oh, nothing's going on with Sybil. She's doing great. She's, Clove, she's here. She's right here. And she's very well. She's doing very well. And she is, she seems to be in good spirits and everything. She was climbing the scratching posts, so I know she's feeling good. Rescue cat was 90 pounds. Yeah, that's actually cheaper than, here they like, US dollars, it's like over $200. Sometimes it's like $250. But a bunch of the cats that I have came from New York City. There's a group there that I worked with sometimes, and in New York City they have it's literally like a death list every day, and it's really disturbing to me because I actually had to stop looking at it. So what they do is they put up cats that are scheduled for euthanasia that day, and they desperately try to find people to adopt them. And so I've taken in a bunch of cats from them, including Edith and Mary, my little girls, my little black kitties, that you guys have met both of them. But they were 7 weeks old. They were going to be put to sleep. So I had to rush from court, drive all the way to the Upper East Side in New York to pick up these two cats by 4 o'clock, or they were going to put them to sleep. So I spent a lot of time in traffic going to get them, and it took me a long time. It took me 9 hours round trip. Is her ear clipped? Who? Are you talking about one of my cats? Are you talking about Sybil? Sybil's ear isn't clipped. Yeah, it's hard to look at those lists, Audrey. I hate them. Hey, it's Sam. Yeah, I actually have 4 black cats. Edith and Mary, and then I have, you guys haven't met him yet, but you will soon. His name is Nero. And he's the one that looks like a panther. I think he's part Bengal. And he's very, very talkative. It's like, I've never had a cat that wasn't a Siamese that talks so much. And then I have Clarice, who's a long-haired black cat, and she's got a very annoying voice. And when I'm around and she wants attention, she never doesn't shut up. Ray, I don't know the name of the painting. It's from the 19th century. And yes, Max, they clip their ears when they're trap neuter release a lot of times. And actually, I do have, there are 2 or 3 of my cats that were feral that have that clip in their ear. Where did I go to law school? I went to Suffolk University Law School. And I said, yeah, the painting doesn't have a name. It's 19th century. It's signed, and I've looked up the artist before. And I think it's from like about 1850. Otto, yeah, that's good. Thank you for donating to the rescue groups. Yeah, those t-shirts, by the way, you guys, for anyone that's bought one of the AskFest t-shirts that I was selling on the site, and actually they're still for sale, or the Catster Fest parody one that I made, all of that profit is going to Little Wanderers in New York, which rescues cats that are a lot of times in very desperate condition, that they will dispatch people to go get. And They just such good work. It's amazing. I've actually had to call them to have them intervene. I had somebody tell me about a cat and its litter that was on a construction site, and some of the kittens had died from falling debris, and they actually were able to dispatch somebody to go pick the cats up. Yeah, Antoinette is beautiful. She's very sweet. Can you adopt if you're only 15? D, you can't, probably, because you'd have to have a parent with you, because they usually want like proof of residency, and I think you have to be an adult to adopt a cat. You're a vet tech working in ER? Oh, wow, that's great. Yeah, the euthanasia, yeah, hey, it's Sam, I can't tell you, it just breaks my heart, you know? If I could take them all, I would take them all. It's so sad. So, I'm going to have to go in a few more minutes, you guys, only because I've got to get that video. I have to upload that video. I was editing it earlier. For those of you who are going to join the 8 o'clock premiere of that Hollywood true crime video about Thelma Todd, I'll be making it live on a premiere, and everybody will be able to chat, and hopefully some of you will be joining me. But we'll do another one soon. You know, now that I know this is the second one we've done where there's like absolutely no problems, and that's because of my switch back to freaking cable internet. Gilles. Oh, Gilles keeps grabbing me. I think they want to eat. I've got to feed these cats. Anyways, diabetes. Max, yeah, you know, my cat, Margot, died last fall. She had diabetes as well. I had to give her insulin twice a day. And at first I was like, oh my God, I have to give her insulin twice a day. And she was a rescue from actually the New York death list. She and her brother, Louis. And I couldn't believe how easy it was to give the insulin to the cat. It was like no big deal at all. So anybody, don't ever be discouraged from adopting a diabetic cat. It's taking care of them really is not a big deal. So the glitchy chats, yeah, no, hopefully no more glitchy chats. Anyways, you guys, I'm gonna go. I've got to cut it off because I really don't want to be late for that other thing, and I've got to get the video uploaded, and sometimes it takes a while to upload. So hopefully I'll see some of you at 8 o'clock there. I believe there's live chatting while the video's playing. And we'll do another one of these really soon. But I thank you so much, you guys, for joining me. And glad to see you guys here. Yeah, Max, insulin is very expensive, I know. And actually, you just reminded me, I have almost a full box of syringes I want to bring back to my vet to give to somebody who could use them. But anyways, good night, you guys. Hopefully I'll see some of you at 8 o'clock at the premiere. Otherwise, we'll do this again soon. Maybe we'll do it next weekend as well. Thanks very much, you guys, and I will talk to you guys soon.